But in this accounting family, almost for all these 5 family members, if you consider this as a family, and the language they use is accounting, but in that language they just have 2 words that they use. They just use 2 words in this family. One is debit, the other one is credit. One is debit, the other one is credit. They just use these 2 words which is called as debit and credit. They just use these 2 words. Not anything else, they just use debit and credit. So in their family they speak just 2 words, one is debit and credit. If you are good in this debit and credit, that means if you are good in how they speak this language of accounting, then that means you can smoothly go through with the further questions and further lessons like manufacturing account, company accounts, partnership accounts, so and so. It's called the debit. Not always increase its debit. Sometimes decrease it is called as debit. So if you take this income, liabilities and equity, increase, for this increase, the opposite way that they speak, it is credit. Then decrease, it is what? Debit. Right? So if any asset is increased, it is debit. If any expenses is increased, it's debit. If any income is increased, look here, it is credit. So credit, it's not always it's decrease, guys. That's more important, because even increase it's credit. Income increase it's credit. Liability increase it's credit. Equity increase it's credit. We'll take some examples and go with this. So with this session, I will be starting the past paper discussion, question discussion, because it's so important to discuss the past paper questions, because we have to get the idea of that how the examiner is going to check this part, accounting equation plus the bank reconciliation. So it's really important to go through with this, right? So now, furniture and fittings, inventory, debtors, cash and everything, it's there. So now come for required. This 2012 A-level question I am going to discuss. So I have changed some wordings. If you see the past paper questions, I have changed some wordings because now we use some different technical words, right? So that's why we have selected this one. Now, before we record from the January transaction, keep it in mind, just put a star mark and write it down. Put 1 or 2 or 3 star marks, guys. Putala, put a star mark and write it down, then get it highlighted. Don't typex it, just highlight please. So put under the star mark and write it down. In any kind of accounting equation question, make sure first you extract the opening balances. So my opening balances are these. My question is now furniture and fittings. I supposed to record it here as the balance brought forward. I supposed to record the furniture and fittings as 180 or 120. We supposed to record this what? This is cost. But this 120 is carrying value. So come for LK 16 lesson, I would be explaining this more. One of the key important lesson in your syllabus. If you can't do the LK 16, you can't do the company question, compulsory question number 1. You can't do the what we call the cash flow statement LK 7, 20 marks. You have to forget about those. As well as in partnership also depreciation there. See, look here also will be depreciated. So we balance brought forwarding the carrying value, it's 120. So carrying value we get it cost minus accumulated depreciation. I just give you the formula. In LK 16 we'll be calculating these also, cost and accumulated depreciation separately. So furniture and fittings, it's 120 the opening balance. 120 the opening balance. Then inventory it's 70. Then the debtors it's 10. Cash it's 30. Then liability